Dear Ewan, I thought I'd tell you the story of the walk. After I had been in the cult about 4 months, I went on a walk with Ben. Ben was a bit on the outs with the cult. I can't really remember. I think he told his teacher she was ugly. I think they told him that he had too much sexual shame and anger, and he wouldn't be able to hack it if he didn't make a super huge commitment and pray to Mother Mary constantly. I was kicking ass. I had figured out that, at least when cornered, if I always told the truth, there would be a better outcome. I felt a little uncomfortable around him, but I also liked that he wanted to be friends. He was talking about saying what was on his mind, and then he said something like, "You're too," I forget the actual judgment, it was something like people pleasy. He looked at me with eyes that seemed to say, "Want to play?" I don't actually endorse or care to think about endorsing what I just said to you. I'm just tired of pretending my brain isn't making noises. You're not as handsome as me, was my first go. He laughed. Fucker. And then we walked about 3 miles and we simply said every thought that came into our minds. It was so strange. We had a context, and like a successful prisoner's dilemma, we both stuck to the game and to the listening. He's not the one who said or meant that. He's the one tired of pretending that the chatter in his head is totally polite. At about 2 miles, the nature of my mind changed drastically. The little hits of embarrassment that had kind of sandblasted my brain in such a way that it came into total stillness. Jesus said, "Resist not evil." I think the hiding of our thoughts is somehow connected to what's driving them. If I set a narrative of, I need to check my thoughts for acceptability, then I'm honoring by way of resistance. I believe the nature of the mind is to create into the narratives we set. So lots of fears of the thoughts we're having actually somehow shapes our minds to have more disruptive thoughts. It was a very Western approach to Buddhism's see the experience like clouds passing in the sky. They're not there to be resisted. They might only require a glance and acknowledgement. There is a cloud. I led a class on authentic relating once and gave this as the final homework. People loved it. I smile whenever I see someone lead a radical honesty event because I imagine they're sniffing the same trail. I have a belief that until a person can muster the strength to say everything they're thinking, especially in the context of a listener who knows they're just reporting their thoughts, then their freedom is quite limited. But I think once the experience is achieved and the person can access what they're thinking more readily, it's better to have discernment when sharing. It seems unhelpful to be radically honest as a way of being, no matter the listener's context, because it doesn't seem to acknowledge that we're trying to build something together. We need to learn how to pick the correct, true nail. Finishing that, my somatic experience becomes more visceral. Mike. P.S. Ben got kicked out the next week, and since we all used names we were given at baptism, I wasn't able to ever find him.